San Francisco is officially back. They just blew out Jacksonville, but headed into this game, many people didn't predict that. But the contrary, they even predicted San Francisco to lose. Nonetheless, San Francisco was able to come away with the W, and it was a dominant win at that. San Francisco looked complete on the offense, defense, and special team side of the ball. This was definitely their most complete game since probably the Dallas Cowboys game. And that all starts on the offensive side of the ball. Specifically, we need to talk about Brock Purdy. Over these last 3 weeks, I thought Brock Purdy wasn't actually playing too bad. A lot was put on his shoulders, and he was making some monstrous plays, and I believe he was a huge reason why San Francisco was even in the game. But that's not the narrative that was being told. You heard that Brock Purdy was just not a good quarterback. But once he finally has some help around him, a running back that is averaging more than 4 yards a carry, and a complete offensive line somewhat, Brock Purdy just tears apart other teams. Today, for example, who would you rather have? Trevor Lawrence, the former #1 overall pick, or Brock Purdy? For me, the choice is clear. I want Brock Purdy. I know Lawrence has the arms, and I know he's the traditional quarterback, but Purdy is the franchise quarterback for San Francisco. He operates Kyle Shanahan's offense perfectly, and while many people will only call him a system quarterback, he's a system quarterback that put up around 300 yards today and 3 touchdowns and nearly a perfect quarterback rating. So for me today, if I was to grade Brock Purdy's performance, I would give him an A+. He made some incredible plays. The touchdown to Brandon Ayuk or the touchdown to George Kittle, he set his career long in a touchdown pass today. It's an A+ day for me. Another player who I think deserves an A is Christian McCaffrey and really all the running backs. Christian McCaffrey today, for instance, averaged 5.9 yards a carry on the ground. He also picked up 47 yards through the air. Deebo Samuel scored a touchdown on the ground as well. This is why I believe San Francisco's offense was missing. For instance, if you look back to the Cincinnati game, Brock Purdy was the team's leading rusher with 57 yards. Now, it's Christian McCaffrey like it should be with 95. What's more impressive about this though is when you consider San Francisco did this without their starting left guard. Aaron Banks was out, which left John Feliciano to fill in all day. And I didn't really notice a difference, which is exactly what you want for an offensive lineman. Trent Williams was out there pulling and looked in great shape coming back from his injury. But I do have a question about the right side of the offensive line, specifically Colt McKivitz. He's kind of been a question mark throughout the year. So going into this upcoming next year, I want to really see San Francisco address this through the draft or a trade. I don't think McKivitz is a long-term solution, but overall today I do have to give this offensive line a B. When you look at this receiving core, and I don't care what position, tight end, wide receiver, or heck, even fullback today, I have to give them all A's. I mean, George Kittle, 116 yards, averaging 38.7 yards a catch and 1 touchdown. Brandon Ayuk, 18.3 yards an average, 1 touchdown. And I mean, we even got to see Kyle Juszczyk with 2 catches and 1 touchdown on the day. Perhaps even more exciting to some Niners fans, we got to see Ronnie Bell, the rookie. He got in and picked up 20 immediately. I think he has the potential to truly develop into a deadly weapon for the San Francisco offense. But now moving off this offensive side of the ball and into the defensive side of the ball, I want to focus on this defensive line. They had a monstrous outing. Overall today, they had 5 sacks, but maybe what's more impressive is how they turned the ball over. Sure, Nick Bosa had a turnover, but they were the reason for a lot of those interceptions. And we can't mention this defensive line without mentioning the acquisition of Chase Young. John Lynch pulls off heists over and over again. Giving up a conditional 3rd round pick for someone who made an immediate impact looks like a no-brainer. But I remember when they traded for him, people said he wasn't going to have an impact. Well, it looks like he's had a major impact. And what it also does is allows these rotational guys like Cleveland Farrell, who also had a sack today, to be fresher when they get in there. Niners defensive line also helped hold Travis Etienne to under 4 yards a carry. That, in combination with the linebackers who were flying sideline to sideline, all day. They deserve an A as well, but maybe the position group that deserves a C or a B minus today is probably the corners. Specifically, I saw major plays given up by Diamador Lenore and Ambry Thomas, but I did like to see no more Isaiah Oliver really out there. Thomas made a monster play, and it looked like a much more cleaned up defense than when Oliver's on the field. San Francisco does have reinforcements coming though on this defensive back position. Specifically, the corners they have coming back are Darrell Luter Jr. and Samuel Womack. So that leads me to believe San Francisco might have further adjustments coming along the way. One area in which San Francisco won't have to adjust are these safeties. Talanoa Hufanga and Tashawn Gibson had a heck of a game. I think they deserve a B+ grade. Moving now over to the special team side of the ball, the punter Mitch Wisnowski is a killer. Seemingly is always pinning people inside their 10s, and I love his ball placement as well as his spin he has and all the tools that he's able to utilize. Moving now over to Jake Moody, he nearly missed that field goal where they had like those 3 timeouts, but he was 2 of 2 on the day, and that's a big improvement for him. For those reasons, I do think the special team side of the ball deserves an A. Now let's get into these coaches, and let's throw in John Lynch in there as well. These guys deserve an A+. They were able to respond after a 3-game losing streak. And this looks like the old Niners. They don't look sluggish out there or unconfident. The Niners staff was also able to make adjustments to what has been plaguing them these last 3 weeks and adjust everything coming out of the bye. This is A+ work from Steve Wilks, Kyle Shanahan, and this whole entire coaching staff. But John Lynch also deserves a big A+. He went out and got a monster in Chase Young, and he provided an immediate spark to this Niners defense and led to a monstrous day of 5 sacks for them. But these are just my thoughts on San Francisco's win, and I'd like to hear your thoughts down below. It would also mean a ton to me if you liked and subscribed. And as always, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day.